Never talks about the crime. I'm going to talk about the crime for criminal indictments of Donald Trump. First of all, I highly recommend you check out Politico. Has a great tracker of Donald Trump's cases. The reason why it's great is because they tell you a summary of the indictments, all the key parties in the case, including his attorneys, the various different parties that are involved, and then they also tell you the strengths of the case, the weaknesses of the case, and whether or not Donald Trump can actually pardon himself. So let's go through them. We can start with 2 federal cases and 2 state cases. So the one that he has conviction is the state case in New York, where he was convicted of a series of paperwork crimes, really, but related to violating federal election laws. Falsifying tax returns and business documents are criminal acts. When you do that in order to conspire with someone else to try to promote a candidate, you then violate New York election law and federal election campaign law, because New York election law says it's a crime for any 2 or more persons to conspire to promote or prevent the election of any person to public office by unlawful means. And trying to hide the fact that he cheated on his wife, the porn star Stormy Daniels, and Kathy McDougal, I think her name is, and try to hide that from the American people. So of those convictions, the only person that can pardon him is the governor of the state of New York, because it's a state case. And it's unlikely, some people try to say, well, the Supreme Court could toss it out. The Supreme Court does not get involved with state cases either. And it doesn't meet absolute presidential immunity that they gave him, because the acts that he was convicted of was for something he did before he was president. And he was doing it to try to hide the fact from the American people that he did these acts. So it was definitely not an official act to try to hide the fact that you cheated on your wife before you were president. If that, the most thing will happen is that they will delay sentencing till he is finished his term, so he'll be 84. So most likely he's not going to go to jail, because those paperwork crimes is like a little bit of time in jail or probation, and so he'll be sentenced, but not to anything serious. But he'll still be criminally convicted and sentenced criminal. As for the New York case, now let's do the other state, the Georgia state. He's charged with violating Georgia's racketeering laws. So racketeering is conspiracy to defraud the will of the people, the whole thing of making up fake electorates and all that sort of stuff. One of his co-conspirators, Mark Meadows, his former chief of staff, attempted to move the case to federal using that immunity decision from the United States Supreme Court. And you know what the United States Supreme Court did? They said, nah, you go to Georgia case. You're not coming over here with that. So again, Supreme Court says that's the state case. That has nothing to do with us federally. So the fact that they knocked it down for Mark Meadows means most likely Donald Trump is going to stay and ultimately get held responsible for his actions in the state court of Georgia. So the only person that can pardon him is the Georgia State Board of Pardons and Paroles. He cannot pardon himself. So that is to the Georgia case. Now let's go to, that's the state cases. For the federal cases, down south, he took top secret documents to Mar-a-Lago. He's charged for violating 3 criminal statutes under the Espionage Act for mishandling top secret federal documents, irrespective of whether they're classified or not. He actually was caught on audio bragging to a room that he had all these documents. A lot of them were military documents. So we know that Donald Trump is cozy with Vladimir Putin, Viktor Orban, all these other like autocrats that he loved from other countries that are so happy to see him back in office. Wonder why. So yeah, now in that case, he could actually pardon himself. He could actually try to fire Jack Smith if he wanted to. He could try to. Fact of the matter is, at some point when he's no longer president, it's possible that they can reignite that, because he really did commit those crimes. Y'all know he took those documents. Y'all know. Try to deny it or not. So the last one is the January 6th. Some of his co-conspirators are in jail. Just like with the hush money case, his co-conspirator in the hush money case was his lawyer, Michael Cohen, who went to jail for that case. So, which means that if your co-conspirator is found guilty and goes to jail, most likely everyone in the conspiracy are going to face some jail time. Normally, if you're not above the law, you people want Donald Trump to be above the law. So his co-conspirator, Michael Cohen, in the New York case went to jail. His co-conspirators in the January 6th, the other federal case, are in jail right now. So what does that tell you? Because he sent them and he said, go, I'll meet you there. Let's go subvert the will of the people. He didn't go, but he still sent them. He had the opportunity to stop them. When they told him, call the National Guard, he chose not to. They said, make a tweet or something. They said, your vice president is being threatened. He said, so what? He's just drinking his Coke. So yeah, he did that. So he could technically, if that case were to go forward, pardon himself. It would create a constitutional crisis, because he did in fact incite an insurrection. And again, there's nothing stopping anyone if they wanted to after he's out of office from trying to try him again. By then he's 84. I don't know. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with them? But those are the crimes. So in summation, inciting insurrection, the paying off the porn star, top secret documents, and trying to find votes. So all those are crimes. So if people try to say it's a witch hunt, or they'll try to say it's Joe Biden's fault, or is Hillary Clinton, or the Clintons, or Kamala Harris, or Democrats. And no one made Donald Trump do any of those things. He on his own, he's a grown man. He's a big ass grown man, did all those things, and he got busted. People try to say, well, what about Joe? What about them? Joe Biden's son. What about Hunter Biden? Hunter Biden is being held accountable for his crimes. So you don't think Donald Trump should too? You guys just want him, don't want to admit he committed those crimes. Y'all don't want him to be held accountable to the crimes. And then on the next breath, y'all telling undocumented people they need to follow the rule of the law. Y'all understand the conflict. It's like you guys only want some people to be held accountable for their acts, but not your Lord and Savior Donald Trump. He committed those crimes, he should be held accountable for them. And if you want Hillary, you have evidence of Joe and all these other people doing something, go present those evidence. They didn't do those crimes. He did the crimes. Why y'all be so mad because he did the crimes and he's getting held accountable? He's not God. He's not Jesus. He's a man. Anyway, I'm not saying to you, Bubba, Gump, Shrimp, I'm not saying these things to you. I don't know where you stand. I know you just asked the question. I was just answering it. But thanks for participating. Thanks for answering the question. So that gives me an opportunity to go through all of Donald Trump's 4 criminal indictments. Because I think some of his people didn't even know. I saw there was Google searches saying, like, people asking, was Donald Trump convicted of crime? Did Donald Trump... I said, and that's just the ones he was criminally indicted for. There's a whole bunch of investigations for a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm not even getting into all those. All right. Now you know. Good luck. Check out that website, political.com. It's going to save your life, save you some time, and then you can track it. You can track them. So if ever you hear for something, you can go there. They're going to track it. They're going to have hyperlinks. They're going to keep you updated. I highly recommend them. All right. Stay tuned to this account. This is just off this. I created a new playlist for Donald Trump's criminal convictions, the criminal acts. It might not get much play now that he's president, but who knows? So this is where you're going to find that in this playlist. All right, bye.